Welcome to the NeuroVerse. My name is Matthew, and this is my story.
You're smiling.
Smiling.
Oh. Hi there, everyone, and welcome back to the NeuroVerse. We're here today with my lovely husband Matthew, who is neurodivergent with ASD and dyslexia, and I'm his lovely wife Helena.
If you do so, say yourself.
I'm just going to keep introducing myself as his lovely wife Helena, because that's as good as it's going to get at the moment. Right. And in today's episode, we are going to be having quite a tough discussion, actually. It's tough, I think, for us personally. So discussing a bit more about how different conditions, even though they're not necessarily linked, so especially with the autism, and how that is also kind of separately but also intrinsically linked to your chronic disc degeneration disease that you've been diagnosed with for over a decade now. So just a little bit about the two conditions and how they inadvertently kind of trigger each other. So just be interesting, I thought, to have a discussion around that, because there may be other people with both other neurodiverse conditions, but also other sort of physical and other mental health conditions as well. So yeah, I just thought it'd be good to have a bit of a discussion around that.
Yeah, I think it's important because to look at them on paper, you wouldn't think that, like I said, they're two different things. I want to take dyslexia out of the equation for a moment, but it will come back in later on. They're two different things, but my back kind of feeds into my ASD quite a lot. So I have degenerative disc disease, and essentially what that means is it sounds really, really bad, but the reality is it's just a fancy name for saying that your discs kind of wear away a bit quicker than usual, and you're prone to slip discs. Essentially, that's what it means. I've currently got 4 slip discs, I think. I'm undergoing treatment for them. I've got some pressing on nerves, so I've got one kind of impinging on my sciatic nerve now. At all times, so I wake up I go to bed in pain, I sleep in pain, I wake up in pain.
You collapse quite regularly as well.
Yeah, I collapse a few times a week because
lost a few of the
just
nerves
because my pain in my leg just kind of my leg just can't kind of hold me. Yeah, so it's difficult, and when you live with a chronic pain condition, it's very easy to slip into depression. I mean, to slip it. I'm probably clinically depressed.
And I think that's that's a fair assumption.
I make jokes. Jokes is no. I make jokes. I'd like to think I'm funny. To some degree, I think some people find me funny, but I do use kind of humor as a tool as well to kind of deflect from awkward situations, to try and make myself and others feel a little bit better about the situation as well. And to something, it's exactly the same as anyone else. You know, it's if you don't get a good night's sleep, it affects your performance the next day. Rest is an essential part of everyone's daily routine. If you don't get enough rest, it'll affect how you perform. You could be snappy the next day, you might not be as attentive the next day. And for me, it's another one of those hats that I have to put on. I take quite a bit of medication to try and help manage the pain, manage the nerve pain, manage the muscle pain, try to manage the inflammation. And if I don't get enough rest, or if I have a particularly bad day, then I'm just not a little bit unattentive the next day, a little bit more tired the next day. My ability to mask and put the hat on that allows me to be socially normal for other people is so hard. It's really hard. And so for those who don't know, masking is a term, and apology if I don't want to adjust this. It's kind of how I explain it. It's the hat mask you put on to make other people, for what you want other people to see, how you want to portray yourself. And when in the neurodiverse world, males are more there's more diagnosed males than there are females. That's because females are far better at masking than what men are. Fact.
Yeah.
Mic drop. So yeah. And so if I'm not well rested, the next day it has a knock-on effect to how I am able to be me. And then that also has a knock-on effect to if I'm overstimulated, if it's just all these other things then kind of build up, it's have a knock-on effect to the fact that I'm then even more exhausted. And as most people know, if you get past the point of tired, past the point of exhaustion, you can't sleep. Because that has a knock-on effect then to everything else the next day and the next day. It snowballs.
Yeah, it's like a vicious cycle.
My stimming becomes a lot worse.
I've noticed that's got a lot worse as your back has got worse.
Yeah.
Your stimming, your self-soothing is more apparent at home and out as well. Yeah.
So again, so as Heather alluded to there, so for those that don't know, stimming is self-stimulation. It's what people do. Some people rock. I used to rock in school, and I had a teacher put their hand on my shoulder during an exam and say, "Stop, you look like a psychopath." I was like, lovely, wonderful. And then I used to I still kind of play with my hands quite a bit. But I used to then kind of stop doing that, and then I used to kind of hide my hands kind of under a table while I was doing it. And then in a previous work environment, someone said, "What are you doing? That looks really, really weird." So I sat under a desk, my hands were going nuts. Not on my nuts. They would just like go. They were just under the table.
Yeah.
And then I kind of, so there's that.
You do still rock. Don't even realise you do. You do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I used to kind of rock to kind of calm myself down. I think when I rock now, it's more from a point of sheer kind of excitement, or there's something that's big that's happening in my head that I can't stop. You also used to say that when I used to hit myself quite a bit when at night time, which stopped or has calmed down since I've been taking the amount of back medication I've taken. That's probably because it kind of knocks me out a lot more, so I'm not like slapping myself around a bit. But it's more noticeable now because obviously we have our little boy Caleb, and he's asking questions. I mean, it's not right nor fair for him to know the full extent of what's going on with me. It's not fair, but he has an awareness, and I'm very mindful that he is exposed to stuff. And we I try and do everything I can with him. He knows there's things I can't do. But he knows that I try, which is important. But as he's becoming more and more aware, he's asking questions like, "Oh, why is Daddy doing that with his hand?" Or "Daddy's making those noises." Not in a way of kind of he's weird, but like in a curious way, asking questions, and there is a part of me that genuinely fears, because kids can be cruel. There is a part of me that genuinely fears about what kids in his class might say, because there's parents there that know that I'm on the autistic spectrum. They know I've got problems with my back. I don't go to any of the kids' parties if I can help it, the school parties.
No. Mind you, I can barely tolerate the loudness and chaos that are kids' parties. So it is a sensory, I'm going to say it, a sensory mindfuck. That is the bombardment of screaming children in hot, rammed environments. There
might be some people watching this and might want to go to some of them parties then if that's if us.
Well, it's little things that we do, like usually if with our son, if he has a party, we usually pay for, say, like a private hire.
Yeah.
So not that we fill it out with kids, it's just to make sure that we keep it quiet, we know who's coming.
Yeah.
And it keeps everything, you know, we want it to be an enjoyable experience for the family.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to be worried about the fact there's one kid over there screaming and going nuts, and you know,
just got to pay a bit more. That's all.
Yeah. So I do get worried because kids can be cruel. I worry about what they might say to him because he's also quite defensive, protective. Very protective.
Yeah.
He tries to do what he can to try and help, which is fine because we've badged them as chores, and he gets pocket money for it. You know, he wants to make sure he can help, so he loads the dishwasher, and he unloads the dishwasher.
You're not allowed to load the dishwasher.
I am not allowed to load the dishwasher.
Not allowed anymore.
After my back pulled from putting an empty cup in the top of a dishwasher, just gone.
Yeah.
So he wants to help. So there's things we've asked him to do that's child appropriate for him that he knows he's helping, but he also gets pocket money then for them because it's right. But I am conscious, like, kids can be cruel. Worry about what people might say, because he shouldn't have to feel the brunt of.
But it's challenging because even like organising days out, we have to be mindful both your autism and your back condition. So it makes it's more challenging organising days out because I normally try and think about like what time to organise them, try and organise them when it's going to be a bit quieter, understanding what the terrain's like. Is there lots of stairs? Is it flat? Thinking how can we pace the day that it's not going to be, I don't want to cram too much in one because it can be quite mentally exhausting and physically exhausting then, and again the two tie in together. So it's not impossible, and it takes extra time, and that's something that we've learned. And I can do it quite slickly now. Got into that good.
You are quite. I don't think there's anyone that would question the fact you're probably the head of not just this household but my family, because the way in which you organise everyone and make sure everything is there, you do everything for everyone, and I know it's greatly appreciated by people, and it is. I just feel bad because I do feel like a burden on a lot of things. Don't shake your head as in yes you are.
I know, but no, I was saying no. It's
oh my god! What the hell?
No, you've told me that before.
It's a revelation.
I always say I never see you as a burden. My husband the other day, and it's just there's things that you need additional help and support with, and there's things that I need additional help and support with in different ways that you support me and I can support you, just differently.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like a burden, and the reality is that there are elements of our relationship where it is a burden. It is because there's things that I should be able to do. I'm 38 years of age, and there's things that I should be able to put my socks on every single day on my own, and there are times that I can't. And yes, as part of our wedding vows, it was great, richer for poorer, sickness and health, and I hold you to that. It's a contract. You signed it.
It is signed. episode.
But it's
Hard.
yeah, it is, and I can't express enough how much you mean to me and everything you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But no, we spoke. It's been that it's challenging.
It is.
It is challenging, and I've had from my perspective, I've struggled with my mental health through things. Like you said, there's like days that there's days that I've got more patience, there's days I've got less patience, there's days that I can deal with things really well, and there's days that I find things completely overwhelming, and then I can feel overwhelmed, but then I can see that you're feeling overwhelmed. So, do you know what I mean? You get into there's some days that are great, and some days when we're both maybe not in our best spaces, they can be really challenging times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no way that, and you just have to kind of ride that. But, we've worked out ways that we deal with things better. So, like, there's times I just need my own bit of space, my own bit of time. And there's times then that you need your own bit. And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine to enjoy having not just time together, but also having your own space to deal and process. And I think that's always been quite important.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing.
Yeah, we've up until recently as well. We've had our own kind of individual hobbies. There's things we've enjoyed doing together, like gaming, as an example. But up until recently, there's you've had your things. I've had my things. And just recently, then one of my things has become a family thing, which is really nice as well, and we're able to support each other through that.
Yeah. It's lovely.
It is.
But also, I find it challenging as well. So I was just like discussing like with martial arts. We'll probably talk it more about it more with hobbies. But it's hard then, because if you're having a particular bad day and we're both training, I start worrying about you.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not supposed to be worrying about you because you're supposed to be focusing about yourself, but I just can't. It's just it's just a fact. To be the same if Caleb was having our son Caleb was having problems. It's difficult, but we navigate it.
Yeah, and
we take the rough and the smooth.
Like I said, we will talk about martial arts in the hobbies bit, of kind of why they're important and kind of why my hobbies are never important to me and stuff, but why it's important, and you'll find people with neurodiverse people have kind of specialist kind of interests and things they latch onto, and they latch on for various reasons. But when doing our gradings, it's if we're grading at the same time, which again we're likely to be, they're important gradings. It's for you to be able to showcase your skills and your abilities, and I know there's going to be a part of you that's going to be worried about how I'm getting on, and as much as I can tell you not to, you will, and as much as our instructor will tell you not to, you will. But yeah, again, that's just testament to who you are as a person. And I said, I'd marry you again tomorrow. I would.
Don't know if I fit into my dress, to be honest.
I wouldn't fit into my suit. I'm 60% pizza at this rate. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of yeah. So while you wouldn't say that my back and my brain aren't linked, they are. And just as the type of person I am, I kept a diary of everything, and there is a direct link to how my back affects my head, because I like using data to prove a point. Yeah. So so that's a little bit more of an insight. Kind of there's I don't know what else to say.
So it's a tough one for us to discuss. It's something that's been like pain management. I think in any sort of relationships and long-term pain management, it has a toll on you, and it changes how you. I think it's one of those things that you kind of overcome as a couple, or it could be the be-all or end-all of some couples. I think, depending if it brings you together, pulls you apart, and I think that we've been one of those couples that we've always. And that's something I've always loved so much about you, but I hadn't realised it was such an autism trait. It's just the fact that you are so honest. And I don't have any. I like the black and the white. I don't like people talking to me in grey because I can't understand stuff then. So for me, we've always been able to be very honest. There's never been kind of shying away or maybe misconstruing something. No, there was never an argument. If there's something wrong, something wrong. If it's all okay, it's all okay. And I honestly think that has truly helped us in how we communicate, because I just always know where things are and where I stand, which is something I've always seen as a really positive trait that I see in relationships, and so that's something that means a lot to me in a relationship. So yeah, I think that's really helped us get through these quite challenging times. It's because we can be very honest and with each other in how we talk and communicate.
Yeah, it doesn't help that one of the challenges we've got because of my conditions is the fact that I don't like this term, I hate it. It's the fact that they're classed as hidden disabilities, because they're not visible. You can't necessarily, unless you see me with my crutches that I'm needing to use more and more, which I'm trying my best not to. I don't want to become reliant on them, but I am needing them more at the moment. Unless you see there's something wrong, it doesn't exist, and people try to say that they understand and they get it, but best endeavors. But the reality is that we get looks when we park up places because I've got a blue badge
for your back,
for my back, primarily is for my back.
You have good days that you can walk a bit more. There's some days, you said you're on the crutches. Some days you can walk a bit, and some days you might only get 100 foot. Do you know what I mean? It completely varies just on your pain days, and again, it just,
you get comments of, oh, do you actually need that spot? Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Oh.
Somebody did that to me in Tesco's, literally like 3 weeks ago. Went to go park in a space, and do you actually need that spot? I was like, yes, we do need that spot. Thank you. I thought it was so rude. I'm like, who does that? Honestly, who actually does that?
There are sometimes I'm okay to use the normal toilets if I know they're there, they're big enough, there's enough space. But there's other times that I need the disabled toilets. Like, oh, do you actually need to go in there? Well, yeah, actually, I needed the handrails to get up after having a shit in Tesco's. Sorry about that. And you have like the hand dryers going off and stuff. It feels like and you can't be annoyed at people for using they just go in the toilet, they're washing their hands, they're drying their hands. It is what it is, but it's painful. It's just dry. And Caleb, our little boy, he hates the sound of hand dryers. It's challenging. And then on top of the challenges, we got to deal with other bits. Then we got to try and deal with other people.
What other people think. Yeah. You're great at not giving a crap about what other people think.
Sometimes it gets to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I know it upsets you. I know it winds you up.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm not very good. I've always been the type. I've always been super critical, and I hate not being liked, or I hate the thought of people, like the thought of people's thoughts about me. I hate the thought of people thinking about me in negative ways and just thinking, which just makes this so hard because it's like you're putting yourself out there.
It is. But it's exposing. It is.
It's really exposing.
I think you're doing great.
Thank you. Yeah, I have my pillow now. Yeah. But yeah, so I found it hard coming into this, and I said it's that when you and yourself are getting used to saying things like, "Oh, my husband has autism," and it's even hard for me to get used to it and come to terms with it. Yeah. And then for people to be very dismissive of that as well, it's another kind of blow, and it's hard when you're trying to get comfortable saying it as well, if that makes sense.
Because the reality is I've always been autistic.
Yeah.
It's just only 5 years ago I have had the diagnosis, which allows me to start understanding myself. I'm still trying to understand myself in some of those things, and whilst I've been autistic my whole life, I've only had it's only now have I got something to attribute why I feel the way I feel in certain situations, why I behave the way I do in certain situations. It's never an excuse. I would never use my autism as an excuse to behave a certain way, but it helps me understand why I'm feeling a certain way, and then what do I need to do in order to try and not. What do I need to do in order to get myself through the situation that is really uncomfortable right now? In some instances, it's don't go. That is and that should always be an option on the table, and you've never ever forced that kind of like, oh no, we need to go. It's you're going here doing this, or we said we're going. If I can't go, I can't go. And on top of that, because I've had my back condition for a very long time as well, as an actual diagnosis, and knowing there is a problem there, not just a little twinge or this, that, and the other. It's a genuine problem. It's a case of there's never been any pressure. I've always appreciated the fact you've never made, there's never been any pressure to turn up. But what I have turned up is for you, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah.
That was really interesting.
It's
interesting for me to talk about it. 'Cause, I mean, when do we ever really sit down and talk about this type of stuff in depth? I mean, a lot of the time we just sit next to each other watching telly.
Yeah.
But we like that. I like sitting next to you in silence watching telly. It's excellent.
Yeah, I mean, say watching telly, you're watching your phone, watching telly.
I can multitask.
No, you can't.
Yes.
No, I can't. It's a myth. That's a myth. But yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. So thank you again. Thank you again. I hope, I'll say it again, I hope that there's elements of this story that has resonated with someone. If you've got an opinion, it's probably very dangerous to say. But if you've got an opinion, pop in the comments below. If you've got neurodiverse conditions and something else, that kind of, how do you kind of manage those aspects as well? I'm a little bit kind of difficult. It's difficult for me to kind of provide an outro for this one, because, being honest, it's a very difficult one for me to talk about. So I'm trying my best in my head while I'm trying to speak. I'm also trying to make sure that I'm not flapping. I'm not doing it because I'm on camera as well. So I'm finding it really difficult to kind of do an outro for this one. But I appreciate you guys watching. However it is you're watching, please like, subscribe, all of that wonderful stuff, and we will see you in a future episode.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye.